Luxury trains and private jets. How the wealthy traveled in the 20th century. The 20th century brought big changes, from new technologies to cultural shifts that transformed the way we live and travel. During this time, travel became a luxury experience. Trains like the Orient Express in the 1920s were symbols of adventure and style, while private jets, starting in the 1970s, offered the rich ultimate convenience and comfort. In this video, we'll explore how these travel changes catered to the wealthy, turning their journeys into something much more than just getting from one place to another. From the grand trains to the luxury of private jets, let's take a trip back in time to see how the elite traveled. Today, there are about 295,450 people worldwide with a net worth of at least $30 million, controlling about a third of the world's wealth. This wealth has created a whole industry dedicated to supporting their luxurious and mobile lifestyles. Let's dive in. Luxury trains, the ultimate travel experience for the wealthy. During the early part of the 20th century, no other mode of transport represented luxury travel more than the luxury trains that ran between major cities in Europe. Of these, the Orient Express stood out not only as the epitome of wealth and elegance, but also as the epitome of exoticism. It was known as the King of Trains and the Train of Kings, a title well-deserved due to its frequent high-profile passengers. Launched in 1883, the Orient Express was a luxury mode of transport affording to travel from Paris to Istanbul. The trip was full of comforts that the common man could only dream of. Spacious sleeping compartments, restaurant-quality meals, and a smart staff always at the beck and call. Other celebrities also sought to ride the Orient Express, which served only to enhance the appeal of the train. Notable guests included King Ferdinand of Bulgaria, who famously referred to it as his rolling palace, and Agatha Christie, who not only traveled on the train, but also set her classic mystery Murder on the Orient Express on board, further cementing its legendary status. The train's elegance was unmatched. It came with Louis XVI-styled interior trims and furnishes, rich wooden finishes, velvet seats together with luxurious chandeliers to give the passengers tastes of the royalty of Europe. It was a train of the aristocrats, diplomats, and celebrities who mingled in the train's Art Deco bars, sipping champagne while watching the snowy Alps and the vineyards of Italy. The same goes for the Royal Scotsman in Britain, which was famous for the traditional luxury railway journey. This train, meant for the upper echelon of the society, traveled through beautiful countryside, serving the Highlands region, and provided lovely glimpses of lochs and castles. Originally, it was used actively in Great Britain and targeted nobles and high society, such as Winston Churchill and the British royal family, who gladly traveled in luxurious coaches. Every carriage was done in rich mahogany and brass with full detailing and came with private cabins and fitted with fine linens. Each carriage had an ensuite luxurious bathroom and gourmet foods prepared by professional chefs. In South Africa was another type of luxury, and Blue Train ran a service from Pretoria through the picturesque landscape of the country to Cape Town. Known as a five-star hotel on wheels, the Blue Train provided all-inclusive service that attracted foreign dignitaries, celebrities, and the world's wealthiest adventurers. Some of the famous visitors were Nelson Mandela and King George VI. The passengers received their meals aboard exquisite crystal and fine china and were attended by butlers. Every corner was fitted with expensive polished wooden walls and gold handles, soft velvet seats and pillows, Egyptian cotton linens and duvets, and carefully chosen artworks that accounted for every richness a first-class traveler could imagine as he cruised the countryside. To these exclusive businessmen and women, the luxury trains were not simply a mode of transport, but also a status symbol to give outsiders a glimpse of how they wish to live during these breathtaking charter of the Earth's most spectacular vistas in max comfort. The shift to air travel, a new frontier of luxury. By the 1950s, a new technology was capturing the imagination of the wealthy: jet travel. The initial shapes of modern commercial jets that include the de Havilland Comet and Boeing 707 provided travelers across the continents with faster and convenient means of transport. Though extravagant rail transport continued to enthrall the picturesque as well as recreational tourists, mechanical jets began to outcompete and dominate the express travel passengers. The first people to adopt this new kind of travel were business people and celebrities. In part, it was aviation pioneers such as Howard Hughes, the eccentric millionaire whose visionary was awash in the category through his acquisitions of TWA, as well as being a movie mogul, to see private aviation not only a business with a goldmine of opportunities and the embodiment of luxury and exclusivity for the high rollers. Hughes, who owned Trans World Airlines, TWA, was famous for creating his own opulent flying environment with large seats and gourmet food cooked by famous chefs. Very soon, airlines offered a first-class passenger experience by establishing the luxury cabin concept. Pan American World Airways, Pan Am, and British Overseas Airways Corporations, BOAC, harked onto the first-class cabins, with fine leather seats, multi-course meals, as well as strict service. Celebrities including Grace Kelly, Frank Sinatra, and Marlon Brando were often seen using these luxurious jets. Airline first-class lounges and terminals transformed into popular social places for the elite, including white-gloved attendants, luxurious decor, and even special check-in places. The golden age of commercial air travel also came hand in hand with the jet-set celebrities who made flying fashionable. First-class air travel was not only a luxury but an occasion. Women of the rich, Jackie Kennedy, Elizabeth Taylor, and even young gals had a peek in designer fashion when they were pictured disembarking from planes, the Beatles included. For a while, commercial jets offered the ultimate in luxury and speed, but the need for privacy and the ultimate in exclusivity led to the next level of luxury travel. Private jets. Luxury in the sky. The concept of personalization. By the time the 1960s rolled around, having your own personal jet was considered not only a mark of high status, but actually the mark of high status. The revolutionary opportunity appeared in 1963 with the introduction of Learjet 23, so private aviation became available for those who could pay for it. Learjet 23, designed by aviator Bill Lear, was stylish as it ensured a faster, quieter, and efficient means of transport, earning it a place among celebrities and business tycoons. Famous personalities such as Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley were amongst one of the first people to start using private jets, both owning a plane designed in accordance with their personality traits. Frank Sinatra, a member of the jet-set lifestyle in the 1960s, owned a Gulfstream II that allowed him to avoid the hassles of commercial airports and traveled directly to his concerts. The aircraft that was known for its large cabin and great range capabilities was the Gulfstream brand, which was immediately appreciated by the upper class. Presley's personal aircraft was a Convair 880 christened Lisa Marie, after his only child, complete with gold-designated seatbelts, stereo system, and superb leather couches. These custom features identified individuality of the owner and his preference, thus making each aircraft a personal airborne haven. A decade in the 1980s was enriched and glazed with wealth and luxury, so it became a foundation for the developments of private aviation. Businessmen and women who could afford first-class travel opted for larger and longer-ranging aircraft, such as the Dassault Falcon and Boeing Business Jet, BBJ. It was also taken to business moguls like Trump, who even ordered his Boeing 727 to be fitted with features such as marble and 24-karat gold. Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, known for his ultra-lavish lifestyle, took this trend even further with his custom Airbus A380, a flying palace featuring a concert hall, Turkish baths, and a parking space for his Rolls-Royce. Private jets represented a new ideal for the wealthy, the freedom to travel anywhere in the world on their own terms and in complete privacy. exclusive private jet terminals began to spring up, allowing elite travelers to avoid the busy main terminals and pass directly from limousine to plane in minutes. Companies like NetJets and VistaJet capitalized on the trend by offering fractional ownership of private jets, making it even easier for the ultra-rich to fly in style. The rise of luxury travel. The super-rich see private jets as not only the way of transport, but as the symbol of freedom, power, and wealth. These jets enabled the billionaires to completely regulate their schedules of private visits to isolated islands, secluded ranches, or secluded havens, with no intrusion from the public domain. Whereas in the late 19th century, luxury travel was a public spectacle of wealth on trains, by the end of the 20th century it was a private, customized experience in the air. This was the beginning of a new world. The world of the privileged, rich, and noble who can travel in private carriages, bypassing communal and crowded carriages. Flash forward to the present day, and private jet travel is an essential component of the existence of the super-rich, who also go to various global galas. The calendar for these individuals is packed with elite gatherings, starting with New Year's Eve in St. Bart's, a favorite destination of the world's richest. From there, the year has events such as the Super Bowl, Aspen skiing, the Cannes Film Festival, and the Monaco Grand Prix, the Henley Royal Regatta held in June, Wimbledon in July, and the Venice Film Festival in August, among others. This whirlwind tour of prestigious events goes on with the Monaco Yacht Show in September, the Frieze London Art Fair in October, and the Melbourne Cup in November. The year ends with Art Basel in Miami, and the cycle is done the following year. For many of the ultra-wealthy, these events are not about the experience, but about the status. Social networking and visibility in the right circles have become a way of life, and these events are almost mandatory. Take Jeff Bezos as an example. To kick off 2022, he spent New Year's on a yacht off St. Bart's with his partner, Lauren Sanchez. But his travels didn't end there. Thanks to aircraft tracking data, we know Bezos used his two G650 jets throughout January. Since St. Bart's runway couldn't accommodate his jets, they waited on the nearby island of St. Martin. On January 1st, one jet flew to Los Angeles to drop off Sanchez, while the other flew Bezos back to Seattle. For the next 2 weeks, the jets shuttled back and forth between the West Coast and Seattle, showcasing just how easy it has become for the ultra-wealthy to move about the world on their own terms, with private jets and luxury travel becoming a seamless part of their lives. On January 13th, one jet flew to Maui, while the other came from Seattle, stopping briefly at LAX before continuing to Maui. This was likely to take them to Bezos' new $78 million vacation home. After a 4-day stay in Maui, both jets returned to the mainland. Bezos then flew to Washington, D.C. on January 27th, possibly for business related to his large estate and Amazon's new headquarters in Virginia. To finish off the month, Bezos returned to Burbank, California, just in time to attend the Super Bowl. His month was a perfect example of how ultra-wealthy individuals carefully manage their schedules around the exclusive events that make up the billionaire's social calendar. In January, Jeff Bezos' travels required his two G650 jets to cover a total of 29,000 miles, 46,000 kilometers, about the same as flying between Seattle and Sydney 4 times. To fuel this journey, his jets consumed approximately 24,838 gallons, 94,022 liters of fuel, which is enough to power the world's largest passenger plane, an A380, across the Atlantic from Washington, D.C. to London with 500 passengers on board. Bezos' extensive travel is a reflection of trends in the ultra-luxury travel market. 2 major changes are reshaping the industry. First, more people than ever are becoming wealthy, with wealth concentrating at the top. Second, while the ultra-wealthy are traveling more, those with less wealth are traveling less frequently but spending more when they do. Airlines have noted that even though business travel is still recovering, first class and business class bookings are stronger than ever. More leisure travelers are willing to pay extra for luxury experiences, further driving this demand. As ultra-wealthy people seek unique experiences, there's also a growing trend of them traveling to escape the spotlight. Record numbers of $30 to $50 million vacation homes are being sold in remote locations. The most expensive travel options often come with secrecy, and by the time the public knows about them, the wealthy are already on to the next trend.